This is the oversized crochet beanie I'll show you how to make, and as you can see I've just put a hair clip in the front there to bring it up in the middle and just to give it a different look. I've designed this oversized crochet beanie so that you can tuck all of your hair up into the back of it comfortably, and that's going to make it a good fit with your hair tucked into the back. If you're not going to tuck your hair into the back, it's still going to fit nicely on your head. It's not going to be overly huge. It'll just sit nicely on the head. And then at the front, if you want to tighten it up, and that's why I place the hair clip in the front like that, or you can fold it however you like at the front really, and that brings it up in a shape like that at the front. So the materials I've used for this beanie are one 100-gram ball of Panda Magnum Soft 8-ply yarn, and I bought this from Lincraft Australia, which you can get through the link below online, their online shop. Otherwise, if you can't get this, you can use a medium worsted weight yarn or a soft 8-ply or DK yarn. For this pattern I've used a 4mm hook. I've needed my craft scissors, a yarn needle, and just any long hair clip that you have. This beanie is an adult size, and it's a beginner pattern because I'm only using the basic stitches of single crochet, half double crochet and double crochet. So to get started, you'll get your yarn and needle or hook, and we're going to start off with 4 chain stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitches, and then we're going to do a slip stitch into the first chain stitch we made to form a ring. This yarn tail we'll be working over, and you hold it around the back and on that side, this side, the left side of the ring. So we're starting at the crown, which is the top of the beanie, and for round 1 we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 11 half double crochet stitches into the ring and working over the yarn tail. So there's 1 half double crochet, two, three. You'll just need to push your stitches around every now and then to fit the rest in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now we actually have 12 stitches because the chain 2 at the start counts as a stitch. So we did 11 half double crochets, and including that chain 2, it makes 12 stitches. So now that we've got all our stitches into the ring, we're going to join into the top of this chain 2. I'm just trying to show you. So you've got one chain there, and there's your second chain there. So into both loops of that chain, and you do a slip stitch to join the round. And there's the first round completed. And you can just pull a little bit on that yarn tail to tighten up the centre, but you can do that as well later when you weave that in around with your yarn needle. Okay, so for round 2 we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and if you find it hard to figure out where you've started when you come around to join, you can use a stitch marker, and that's what I am ferreting around trying to find in here. You can use a stitch marker to place into that second chain stitch that you just made on the chain 2, just so you know when you come around that that's where you need to join. If you haven't got a stitch marker, you can use a safety pin or another piece of yarn, different coloured piece of yarn. So okay, we've got our chain 2 for round 2, and now we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the same space as the join, and that is right there. So 1 half double crochet into where we joined in there. And now we'll do 2 half double crochet in each half double crochet around to the end. And see, this chain 2 counts as a stitch there, and then we did a half double crochet there, so we've already got our 2 stitches into that stitch there. So now we need to put 2 half double crochet stitches into every other stitch around. So there's 1, 2. See, the reason why we're putting 2 stitches into each stitch is because we're increasing. So into the next stitch, 1 half double crochet and another one. So we'll have 2 half double crochet into that stitch. And the same for the next one. 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet. So repeat that right around into each stitch. So 2 half double crochet into each stitch, and at the end of round 2 you should have 24 stitches. And it's a good idea to count to make sure that you do have those 24 stitches at the end. I'm at the end of round 2, and we're going to join into where we have our stitch marker there, which is in the chain 2. And to join, we need to do a slip stitch into that second chain stitch there. Okay, so that's the end of round 2. For round 3, we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and remembering that the chain 2 right throughout this pattern does count as a stitch. Now we're going to do a half double crochet in the same space as the join, which is right there. And now we have 2 stitches, the chain 2 and the half double crochet. Now we'll do a half double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochet stitches into the next stitch. And that means we're increasing. So there's 1 into the next stitch and a second one, a second half double crochet into that same stitch. So right around for this round we'll be doing 1 half double crochet into the next stitch and then 2 half double crochet stitches into the next stitch. So 1 half double crochet into the next stitch and 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. So there's our first one, and do another one into that stitch. So you'll repeat that right around, 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. So I'll meet you around at the end here, and you should have 36 stitches. So at the end of round 3, made my last stitch there, and that was just 1 stitch into the last stitch, and you should have your 36 stitches. And now we're going to join it into the top of the chain 2 with a slip stitch to join the round. And there's round 3 completed. For round 4 we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and you can place your marker into that second chain stitch, and we're going to do 1 half double crochet in the same space as the join there. And I'm just trying to make it so that you can see where I'm going. Okay, and now do 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So 1 half double crochet into the next stitch here, and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to do 2 half double crochet stitches into the next stitch. There's the first one, and the second one into the same stitch. And now we'll do 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 into the next stitch and 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. And then we'll be doing 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. So there's the first half double crochet and a second half double crochet into that stitch. So we're going to repeat this sequence around, so 1 half double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. So there's 1 into that stitch and 1 into the next stitch, and 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2. So continue that sequence right around. So 2 half double crochet into one stitch and 1 half double crochet into the next 2, into each of the next 2 stitches. And when you come right around to the end, you should have 48 stitches. So I'm at the end of round 4 and I've done my last sequence of 2 half double crochet into one stitch and a half double crochet into 2 stitches there. And now we're going to join into the top of the chain 2 by making a slip stitch, and there's round 4 completed. For round 5 we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and you can pop your marker into that last chain stitch you made. And for this round we're going to do 1 half double crochet into each stitch around to the end. So this is a very easy round. So we're not putting a half double crochet into where we joined there, we're moving into this one. So continue right around with a half double crochet stitch into each stitch around, and at the end of this round you should still have 48 stitches because we're not increasing. So I'm at the end of round 5 and I still have 48 stitches, and now we're going to take the marker out and join with a slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. There's round 5 completed. For round 6 we'll chain 2, 1, 2, placing the marker back into that second chain stitch we just made, and we'll do a half double crochet into the join there. So now we've got 2 stitches because the chain 2 counts as a stitch. And now we're going to do 1/2 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So 1 into that stitch, 1 into the next stitch, and 1 into the next stitch. Now we'll do 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. One, and there's the second one into the same stitch. Now we'll do 1/2 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to repeat the sequence of 2 half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 half double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. So I'll show you once more. So 2 half double crochet stitches into the next stitch, and then 1 half double crochet into each of these next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. So repeat that sequence right around to the end, and at the end of round 6 you should have 60 stitches. At the end of round 6 the end of the sequence should have been with the last 3 half double crochet into the last 3 stitches there. Okay, so now we'll join into the top of chain 2. With a slip stitch, and that's the end of round 6. Now we're going to repeat round 5 for round 7. So round 5 was chain 2, placing your marker back in the second chain stitch there. And we'll do 1 half double crochet into each stitch around, but not into the join there. So into the next here. So we've got our chain 2 there, and our next stitch there. Just half double crocheting right around into each stitch, and at the end of this round 7 you'll still have 60 stitches, so keep going around and I'll meet you at the end. I'm at the end of round 7, and we're going to join into the chain 2 with a slip stitch. And that's what the end of round 7 looks like. So for round 8, we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and pop our marker back into that second chain stitch. And we're going to do a half double crochet into the same space as the join here. And there we've got 2 stitches, so that counts as a stitch, and we've just done one there. Now we'll do a half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. Nope. I'll just do that one again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we'll do 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. We're increasing. So there's 1 half double crochet and 2 half double crochet into that same stitch. And then we'll do 1 half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to repeat that sequence right around. So it'll be 2 half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 half double crochet into each of the next 4 stitches, and repeat that right around to the end, and I'll see you there. So at the end of round 8 you should have 72 stitches, and you've finished by doing your last sequence of 2 half double crochet there, and then finishing off with 4 into the last 4 stitches. So now we're going to join into the chain 2 with a slip stitch, and as you can see it's growing. So for round 9 we're going to repeat round 5, and round 5 was chain 2, 1, 2, and we'll just put that marker back in into that last chain stitch you made. And we'll do 1 half double crochet into each stitch around, so not into the join there, into the next stitch along. And remembering to count the chain 2 as the first stitch, so there's 1, 2 so far. That's all we're doing on this round, is 1 half double crochet into each stitch around. So I'll let you continue on and I'll meet you at the end. And you should still have 72 stitches at the end of round 9. I'm at the end of round 9 with 72 stitches, and we're going to join into the chain 2 with a slip stitch to complete this round 9. There we go, it's getting bigger. Now for round 10 we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and we'll place our marker into that second chain stitch. And we'll do 1/2 double crochet in the same space as the join here. So now we've got 2 stitches, that counts as a stitch. And we'll do 1/2 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we'll do 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. So there's the first half double crochet into that stitch, and then do a second one. So there's your 2. Then we'll do 1/2 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches along. So 1/2 double crochet into the next stitch, 2 half double crochet into the next stitch, 3 to the next stitch, 4 into the next stitch, and there's our 5th one. And now we're going to repeat the sequence that we did here. So 2 half double crochet into the next stitch, 1/2 double crochet into the next 5 stitches along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to continue that sequence right around. So into the next one, 2 half double crochet stitches and 1/2 double crochet into each of the next 5 stitches, and I'll meet you at the end here, and at the end of round 10 you should have 84 stitches. At the end of round 10 we've got our 84 stitches, and we're going to join into the chain 2 with a slip stitch. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. So from here on in, each following row will have 84 stitches. We won't be increasing anymore. So for round 11, we're going to repeat round 5, and that was a chain 2 and a half double crochet into each stitch around. So remembering not into the join, into this stitch here. So half double crochet into each stitch around. So continue on around, and I'll meet you at the end. At the end of round 11, we're going to join into the top of the chain 2 with a slip stitch. So to start round 12, we're going to chain 1 and do a single crochet into the join, and then a chain 1, and that counts as a stitch. So we're just going to place our marker into the chain 1 we last did. So that counts as one double crochet stitch, the chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Now we're going to do a double crochet into each stitch around until the end. And this is where we're starting to form the sides of the beanie. So a double crochet into each stitch right around for this round. So continue right around with a double crochet into each stitch, and I'll meet you at the end. So I'm at the end of round 12, and we're going to join into the chain 1 where we have our marker right there. Make a slip stitch. And at this point you've still got your 84 stitches, and that won't change. So for round 13 we'll chain 1 and making a single crochet stitch into the join here, and then a chain 1, and place your marker back into that chain 1. And the chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 counts as a double crochet stitch. Now we're going to chain 1, and just so I can show you, we're making this part here now where the spaces are. So we've chained 1, and we're going to skip 1 stitch, that one there, and we're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch. And there's our first space made. So chain 1 and skip the next stitch and a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, a double crochet into the next stitch. And you can see there we're creating the spaces. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next stitch. So repeat that right around this round and I'll meet you at the end. So it's a chain 1, skip the next stitch and double crochet into the next stitch. So the last stitch I made for round 13 was a chain 1, and now we're going to join into where we started here. Making a slip stitch. And that's the end of round 13. So for round 14, we'll chain 1 and a single crochet into that space where we joined. And a chain 1. And we'll place our marker back into that chain 1. And that counts as a double crochet stitch. Now we're going to do 1 double crochet into each chain 1 space, so into the space, and 1 double crochet stitch into each double crochet stitch we made. So a double crochet into the space, and then a double crochet into the double crochet below. A double crochet into the space. There's a bit of green yarn there. That's a bit strange. Oh well. So a double crochet there, and a double crochet into the double crochet stitch below. Double crochet into the space, double crochet into the double crochet stitch below. So you'll continue that right around until the end. So at the end of round 14, I've made my last double crochet stitch into the last space, and now we'll join into the chain 1 here. Making a slip stitch. For round 15, we'll chain 1 and we'll do a single crochet into the join here, and a chain 1, and then place the marker into that chain 1, and this counts as a double crochet stitch. And now we're going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch around. So continue on around, making one double crochet stitch into each stitch around, and I'll see you at the end. Now we're at the end of round 15. Made my last stitch there, and we're going to join into this chain one where we had our marker by making a slip stitch. For rounds 16 to 22, you'll repeat round 15, which was the round that we just did. And once you've finished round 22, I'll meet you at the end and explain how to do the edging, which is the last round. Okay, so I'm up to the end of round 22 and we're almost finished. And this is what it's looking like now. So for round 23 we'll be doing an edging of slip stitches. So to get started, we'll slip stitch into the next stitch along from where we joined. So slip stitch into the next stitch, slip stitch into the next stitch, and this is what we'll be doing right around. So continue on right around until you get to the end here, and I'll show you how to finish off. So at the end of round 23 of doing slip stitches right around, I'm just going to make my last one here. And then we're going to finish off. So cut your yarn, leaving enough to weave into the work. And with your yarn needle, just thread this through. And now what I do is I try to hide the knot by just going in down through the next slip stitch here. And it pulls it down like that. And then you can run the needle down through that stitch, and then along the row of stitches here. And you can go as far as you like, and then just skipping that loop there and then come back this way. Through the stitches. And you can trim that off. And for the center, just thread your tail through the needle again, and you want to just give that a slight pull, and then I just hide the tail around the stitches like that and pull it tight. And then cut your yarn. And then find the back of the hat, which is there. You'll be able to see the joins there. And then just flatten it out and then flip it over so the front is facing you. And then get your hair clip. Well, really you can place this on your head first, and then you'll be able to position the clip in the center. You just pop that end of the clip through, clip it, and there you go. So that's how you make the oversized crochet beanie.